Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, June 16, 2015. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The females have dominated the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment CPEA examinations for 2015. The preliminary results indicate that 1,474 or 80.9% of the proportion of students met the prescribed standards. Of the 904 females, 801 or 88.6% was successful, while 673 or 73.31% males met the required standards of the 918 who wrote the exams. Tied for the first place position are Paige Cadogan of the Windsor Primary School and Rishona James of the St. Mary's Roman Catholic with 96.8%. They both also copped the highest score for English with 96%. Third place was taken by Donia Lucas of the Calico Anglican School, who missed the top spot by 4 points. She received a pass mark of 96.2% and also nabbed the highest score for science with 98%. The fourth position was taken by Jonolia John of the Lomans Leeward Anglican School with an average of 94.8%. Bokeem Henville of the Kingston Preparatory and Risha Thomas of the Brighton Methodist both got 100% passes in math, while Odeya Glasgow of the St. Mary's RC shared the top mark for English with first place Paige Cadogan, 96%. Earlier today, SVG-TV News spoke with the top 3 students who all say they are pleased with their results and plan to work harder as they move on to secondary school.
Lots of kids want to know, what was your strategy?
Well, I studied and I did a lot of practice papers, and I got help from my teachers and my family and other friends.
Anything else you want to tell other students out there?
Well, for the ones that are doing it next year, make sure you work hard and strive for excellence. Thank you.
And what do you want to become?
Well, I have not decided that as yet, but I want to be like a business person, and I feel excited and happy and blessed. I feel blessed. Thank you everybody, especially God, for giving me the wisdom and the understanding to do all of these things. And I was not expecting to come first, because the exams were a little challenging to me, but I guess anything is possible with God's help. So thank you very much.
What do you like to do? What would you like to become?
Well, I would like to be a marine biologist. I like the sea and like animals, sea animals, and like they are very interesting to me. So. And I like science. I want to become an entrepreneur or an international accountant.
Very good. So, what were challenging for you? What areas were challenging for you, or what did you find easy in the exam?
The questions were practically easy, but the English was a little challenging.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about the exam, or how you managed to do so well?
I managed to do so because I had help from my teachers, my mother, my grandmother, and I did extra work, and I went to lessons that assisted me.
Okay. Any advice for other students out there who, you know, are going in for exams next year maybe?
You have to be calm and not be nervous, because if you have confidence in yourself, you will surely pass your exam.
The parents of the top students say they are elated by their children's success.
They also have our son Shane to be first for boys and second overall when he did it. I think it was in 2012-ish. I mean, it's a feeling I can't really explain. I would love if my mom was here to be able to also, you know, share her excitement. But it's a truly overwhelming feeling. Paige really did us proud. She stuck in there, and she did a lot of work outside of school. My mom has to be really recognized for that, because they were like one. they became one during the preparation period. And I know that a lot of work went into weekends and after hours, and I think she had some fantastic teachers, right? And really sometimes give teachers a bad rap. But you really have to say, I mean, based on experience with Shane and now with her, Windsor School has really stepped up and put forward the best for the students.
Anything else you'd like to say to parents?
I think all parents have the kids' best interests at heart, and what I noticed with Paige was that there were times she needed an outlet, and that parents do need to push the kids, and I think parents need to set high expectations for the kids, but at the same time make sure that they work with the kids. Don't set an expectation, leave the kid on their own. If you set an expectation for a kid, work with them and make sure that you see it through the end with them.
Say to the parents out there too, those who have been at their children's side, continue and strive for better. Those who have been drifting, the children need your support. They need to know that you're there. Providing clothing and food is not all. They need you as a friend, as a mentor, and to guide them properly. At times you must be able to give tough love, not abuse. So to the parents out there who have been there for the children, continue. And I must say that St. Mary's House is a community. From grade K, there have been a togetherness. And I'm proud.
We will hear more on the students' performance in tomorrow's evening news from the principals and teachers of the respective schools. A 6-month program geared at poverty alleviation and job creation got underway here today. This as the Ministry of National Mobilization launched Phase 2 of the Community Poverty Alleviation Program at the Fisheries Division Conference Room. Registrar of Cooperative Cecil Jackson says the program, which will run for the next 6 months, will see support being provided by the field officers in the Ministry of National Mobilization. Jackson says the objectives of the program include the creation of income-generating activities throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, particularly in communities that have been identified with high levels of vulnerability and poverty in the 2007-2008 Poverty Assessment Report. Jackson explains that the project will also seek to transform all rural and urban communities here.
It will promote entrepreneurship in various communities identified under the 2007-2008 Poverty Assessment Report. It will provide technical skills and competencies for all beneficiaries of the program, and we are hoping to promote the issue of agro-processing, IT, and other critical economic areas. It will provide capacity building training for at least 30 field officers of the Ministry of National Mobilization in the area of project monitoring and evaluation, conflict resolution, and the management and supervision of community projects.
Jackson adds that following the program, it is expected that there will be a significant reduction in poverty levels throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Development of sustainable enterprises. 3, we are hoping to have the creation of sustainable jobs among youths and women, especially in our rural agricultural communities. And 4, we are hoping to have an enhanced collaboration between the Ministry of National Mobilization, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Education, in the expansion of the school agribusiness initiative. Once all of these outcomes are realized, I am confident that there will be significant reduction in poverty throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Mobilization, Jasmine Hull, says it is their belief that the program will specifically improve the lives of a number of rural households, community-based organizations, and individuals over the 6 months period.
Ministry of National Mobilization Social Development is therefore utilizing this in-house design program to address mainly the issues of poverty and unemployment among the youth, and women. To this end, a collaborative approach involving all of the divisions in the ministry will be activated to facilitate the effective and efficient implementation of the Community Poverty Alleviation Program Phase 2. The Cooperative Division will lead in the implementation process and will be supported by the following divisions and their staff. Community Development, headed by Mr. Roger Young. Family Services, under the guide of Mrs. Anastasia Harry. Youth Affairs, under the leadership of Mr. Philip Jeffers. The Gender Affairs, headed by Mrs. Polly Oliver, and the Liberty Lodge Boys Training Center, headed by Mr. Ezra Combach. This will be in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Education, and other stakeholders.
Jamaica's Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Luther Buchanan, and his technical team are slated to arrive here tomorrow, Wednesday, June 17th, for a two-day mission. The delegation will take part in the official handing-over ceremony of 100 straws of cattle semen for the breeds of Jamaican Hope, Red Pole, and Black Pole, scheduled for Thursday, June 18th at the Rabaca Livestock Station, Orange Hill at 1 p.m. At the official handing-over ceremony, remarks will be made by Minister of Agriculture here, Saboto Caesar, Jamaica's Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, SVG's Chief Veterinary Officer, Dr. Kathy Ann Hackshaw, and personnel assigned to the program, Dr. Colleen Phillips and Dr. Adael Bernal Sol, Cuban specialist in reproduction. The ceremony will also be attended by agricultural students and teachers of various schools across the country. Health officials are investigating a suicide at the Mental Health Center at Orange Hill. Reports are that male resident Brendan Lavia of Queens Drive, who was in his early 30s, was discovered hanging from the ceiling at the institution sometime this morning. The 4th annual general meeting of Caribbean Federation of Police Welfare Association will be hosted here tomorrow under the theme, Preparing for the Challenges of Tomorrow. The two-day conference will be held at the National Insurance Services Conference Room. The opening ceremony will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, the 17th June from 9 a.m. and is expected to hear addresses from Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves, Commissioner of Police Michael Childs, President of the Caribbean Federation of Police Welfare Associations, Sergeant Brenton Smith, and Chairman of the Local Police Welfare Association, Inspector Trevor Bailey. The feature address will be delivered by Deputy Commissioner of Police of St. Lucia, Severin Moncheri. The Adult and Continuing Education Unit is hoping to raise the standard of cosmetology in St. Vincent and the Grenadines by providing certificate courses to Vincentians to create jobs for themselves and others. At the closing ceremony of the first round of a 6-week cosmetology course, which focused on nail care and design, the students were awarded with certificates of completion. And according to the Senior Education Officer with responsibility for adult and continuing education, John Zan George, the course is aimed at alleviating poverty and offers the opportunity for social development, at the same time giving students a medium through which they could focus their energies in a positive way.
So we hope that down the road, the outcome of this program is not only for you to do your nails and your toes at home, but also that you can start to form linkages and partnership with your fellow graduates and look at business adventures in your communities. So we hope that you will take this skill set out in your communities and start right away to help us to fulfill one of our mandates from ACE, that is poverty alleviation through education. Okay, we are the only ACE, the Adult and Continuing Education Division, the only agency in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who are mandated to ensure that persons get a chance in education.
And the Director of Adult and Continuing Education, Francis Clark Palmer, is encouraging the students to participate in the course to seize control of their lives and their future by planning ahead and not just base their existence solely on the present.
Always remember, beautify. When somebody comes to you, their nails should look better, they should be better. So always upgrade, always upgrade. Keep abreast of what's happening. Add to your repertoire, right? Add to your skill set. Research. See what's going on in your field. Many of us, we like to just expend and expend. Spend, 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 and we don't reinvest. You have to reinvest. When you use out the nails and you use out this and use out that, and you get the income, take out some to invest in the things again. Practice, always practice your skills. Because you have to practice. If you don't practice, you're not going to get anywhere.
She further urged them to strive for advancement in order to stay relevant in today's competitive and challenging economy. Overseas of the SVG Cooperative League, a 10-member delegation will leave the state tomorrow for Cancun, Mexico, to represent St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the Caribbean Confederation of Credit Unions, CCCU, 58th Annual International Convention and 44th Annual General Meeting. The CCCU's 58th International Convention, which will run from 19th to the 24th June, will be observed under the theme Cooperatives Celebrating Successes and Embracing New Challenges for Sustainable Development. More than 600 credit union professionals, frontline practitioners, regulators and policymakers will exchange perspectives and challenges from their credit union movements in the Caribbean, Mexico, the USA and Canada. International experts will share best practices and key principles on credit union development, including strategies to effectively address the growing risk and regulatory reporting requirements for credit unions, enhancing productivity, meeting the changing needs of credit union members, and enhancing the social responsibility of cooperatives in a digital age. The SVG delegation to the CCCU 58th International Convention and 44th AGM will be led by Julian Jack and Lennox Bowman, who are currently serving as directors on the board of the CCCU. Carnival Beat is coming right up. The SVG Players International Mass Band, which is this year presenting its 15th mass production, says the mission this year is simply to win. The band's tent manager, Ricardo Puzzlegrant, says their production theme this year is Masquerade, which he says comprises of some 10 sections, 2 kids and 8 adults. Grant adds that for 2015, players will be catering for 400 to 500 masqueraders and use the opportunity to walk the news team through the different sections of the band.
This is called Masquerade, and this is the children. You see, what we try to do here is to depict what is really Masquerade, what it looked like. But you know, Carnival today really begins with the children. So hence we would put some emphasis on the children. Then we have imagination. Now, imagination is our imagination. So if you notice, there's a burst of colors that has this sort of illusion. We have now the masked men, which you see we try to use the Vendetta mask here because that is the most popular mask that is around at this time. You know, Vendetta, it arrived from the picture Viva Vendetta. So we try to bring the Vendetta mask here. Then we have Bacchanal. So Bacchanal, as you see it, is the carnival is really a Bacchanal, right? And as we see, it involved the mask. And the Bacchanal, when you're looking at Bacchanal and the carnival, which is the end of flesh eating and thing, you have plenty of wine, drinking and so on. And you have the Horner man and them kind of fellas are coming down, you know.
Additionally, Grant says their section Mama Woy Woy will specifically be depicting what today's mass is synonymous with.
This is carnival in yesteryear, but today's carnival we notice that is everybody now gravitate to a kind of just not very much clothes, you know, is more portraying yourself, your body. And you have Mama Woy Woy because that is what we looked at, how we perceive them to be. You know, they displaying themselves. So you notice it's just a little pieces of clothes here and there. Then we have the Ivory Queen. This really brings in the African aspect of the whole thing. You notice? Because ivory is, we project the tusk and so on, that the ivory tusk that you get in Africa in the deserts and so on. And we try to make it look more African than anything else. Well, here we call this High Room because we are bringing this band in St. Vincent, which is being known as High Room, right? So we try to keep it in line with the colors that symbolize High Room and things like that. Here we have sci-fi. Now with sci-fi, it takes us into a different realm again. This is called Steel and Glitter. Now Steel and Glitter is what is being used for in a show, in one of our shows in Vincy Mas. That's where you have the panorama and the section of the bands. So we call it Steel and Glitter. And you notice that we have the steel, which is the steel bands, and the mask up here, which is the glitter.
So it's safe to say that this is your night section?
Yeah, this is my night section, Steel and Glitter.
All right.
And then we climax it now with Mardi Gras. That is the grand finale, the climax of the carnival.
Yeah.
So here.
Meanwhile, Grant says while registration at the moment is slow, they do anticipate that things will pick up during the final 10 days of Carnival. The tent manager says players will be displaying 4 big costumes on the streets of Kingstown and explains that work in the tent is progressing with the band already over 70% built. And the Extreme Fanatics Mass Band, which is celebrating 5 years of mass production here and has been attracting a number of local artists, will be presenting We've Got the Blues for Vincy Mas 2015. Band leader Cesar says that's band leader Cesar Joseph says they're aiming to make Carnival more entertaining and extraordinary for their masqueraders with their 7 sections.
Well, Extreme Fanatics, we've got the blues this year. That's our presentation. And it's just about blue things in the universe, blue ideas, blue phrases, just anything blue. We have 7 sections. We have the little girls here, they're bluebells. This is blue magic. This one here is blue fire. This is rhythm and blues. This is a male-female section, and we have blue eyes. This silver costume here is a sample of what your frontline suits will look like. The traffic itself is not a bother because usually people are very last minute. Sometimes they register early. We've had a few. Even when we didn't have anything, people know that Extreme Fanatics is a fun band, so they register. We're trying to be in every category. We've been 4th place in the big costumes already, so we're trying to improve on that. We consistently improve every year. So
why should persons choose Extreme Fanatics to play mass this year?
Oh, Extreme Fanatics is the fun band. We have artists galore. Just to name a few: Fireman, Fire Empress, Royal, Keith Currency, they all play here. So the masqueraders know about them. They're here every year. Every section has their leader, and therefore everybody, you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because we have snacks on the road, and they eat and they drink until Carnival is done. We usually last rock off of the road, so it's fun.